All right. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny and I'm here with Joyous Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
Somewhat of a joyful episode, I think, depending on what camp you lie in with
Yeah.
this controversy or whatever you want to call it regarding the Scream franchise. As you can see, it's just Danny and Joel. I know it says Danny and Katrina, but I just forgot to edit that before we started recording. So Katrina is not here, but her name
She's here in
is
spirit.
here. So we're going to talk about Scream 7 news. There's been a couple of pretty big cast announcements over the last couple of days that we felt like we had to talk about and kind of get an idea of what it might mean for that movie. But first, make sure that you are subscribed. We're going to be putting out Scream 7 news, as long as it's, newsworthy. We'll be putting out the news and doing episodes. We still have like a full year before it's even going to come out. So I'm sure there's going to be developments along the way. We're pretty excited about this one. So if you're a Scream fan, then you're going to want to be subscribed so you can get all the notifications when we do episodes on Scream. And you can go back and watch all of our other Scream reviews. We've done them all.
We have.
And also, if you want some extra content, if you want episodes early, and if you want spoilers for all of our reviews, then you're going to want to go to patreon.com/scaretalk, sign up for one of those tiers, and you can get some of those perks. All right. Now for the news.
Yes.
The first announcement that we got was that Roman, Scream 3, is returning. So, Scott Foley is the actor who plays Roman, and he is coming back for Scream 7. And if you want to see the article, we have it up right here. So, Scott Foley joins cast of Scream 7. This is from Deadline. This is legit.
Yeah.
This isn't some just person on Twitter or whatever making stuff up.
They've been breaking Hollywood news since 2006. So, according to the top
there you go.
corner of their page there. So,
there you go.
They're pretty legit.
So there's that. And I don't think we can talk about that news without talking about the other piece of news because they are most likely related.
Before we get to that, what were you like when that hit? Like, what were you thinking? Like, that's because it's kind of it's a little based on what happened in the movie. It's a little ridiculous to announce his return.
Yeah.
But you could say that about someone else who's going to be popping up here in a little bit too. So what were you thinking when you saw that announced?
So, Roman, who's the killer in Scream 3,
Sydney's brother.
Sydney's brother, yes. What I was thinking was, I feel like there wasn't enough time to kind of have a lot of speculation on what that could mean before something else happened. And then it kind of got the thoughts flowing like, okay, what are they trying to do here? But initially I was just thinking like, how could he be alive? And then I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just flashbacks, or maybe there's, she had she shares or Sydney, it's like his her family, right? So I was wondering if there's going to be any sort of, she doesn't have dreams about him or learn more about him as she's going through this next movie. So I was thinking he probably wasn't going to be like the killer in the movie. I was just thinking he was going to be kind of here and there sprinkled out, maybe not even alive in the movie, just kind of used as a, oh, look, Roman's back. Like, kind of
It
get
kind
the
of got
gossip
that.
going.
I feel like they did that gimmick with Billy already in Screams 5 and 6 with he's back, but he's back as in Sam's imagination kind of thing.
They didn't announce him though.
They didn't.
Yeah, we didn't know that until we saw the movie.
And that's why I don't know how I feel about any of this news. It's like they were able to keep Billy under wraps for the entirety of like them filming. Yeah. But he quote unquote joined the cast or Scream 5 and 6. Like I don't know, I just felt that was kind of weird. And then
decent amount of screen time.
He did. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure. I mean, this obviously we don't know what's going on with this news. We're just speculating here, giving our insights. But it's like, if they could keep that under wraps, then why couldn't they keep other things under wraps?
Yeah.
I know. Some of this definitely feels like it's intentional. They want to get ahead of this, and before they start filming and people are wandering around the set and take pictures of certain people, which I can totally get. But I just thought it was kind of strange that wasn't even our first bit of news, because we did see that Patrick Dempsey character isn't coming back. But we had all this we had the speculation that he was Mark, who was married to Sydney, because his name was Mark in Scream 3, going back to that movie too. And then it happens to they don't replace his character, but they're like, no, his name wasn't the husband's name wasn't Mark Kincaid. It was Mark whatever. And so it's like, okay. It was kind of a clever way of throwing us off there.
Yeah. They're like, okay, if we can't get Patrick Dempsey, then we have this backup where the character can still be Mark.
Yeah.
We never actually saw Mark.
Yeah.
In Scream 5 when she was on the phone and everything. And so it could be anybody.
Yeah.
It just has to be a Mark. So
I still have I still have
clever.
I still have speculation about that whole thing too, which I kind of want to talk about here in a little bit, because I feel like they could still bring Patrick Dempsey back.
Okay.
In this movie.
So well. So yeah, that was like the first bit of news that we got, and Scream fans, we were just kind of waiting, like, okay, like let's get this all finalized. Like we got Sydney, we got Gail. We got the twins.
Which is kind of weird.
That seemed kind of interesting. I didn't think anybody was really going to be in this one. That's especially from 6.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of like, okay, we're going to focus on Sydney. So that means Patrick Dempsey is hopefully going to be in the movie, because we know that they're married, right? But not so fast. So that was all just kind of like, okay, we're just waiting for that. No real surprises here going on. Then we get Roman returning, which is a surprise, depending on how he's used. And then we also got news that we're going to have another Ghostface. And his name is Stu Walker.
And this is the biggest news they could have given us about this. Like, you can't top this. Like, this is the news that Scream fans have been speculating on, have been wanting, have not been wanting, because of how long it's been, which I get. I've always been on the camp that he's been alive ever since. I mean, Kevin Williamson created a TV show based on what Scream 3 was supposed to be, centering around Stu, called The Fallen, which is a really good show with Kevin Bacon. But that was supposed to be Scream 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the villain of the following was supposed to be Stu in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that would have been such a cool movie.
Yeah.
That's, I still don't understand where Columbine fits into that, because that's what they like blamed it
Yeah.
on. Like, there was
Yeah.
this Columbine, we had to scrap that. And why? There was no
Yeah.
school shooting.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I would like to go back to that year and think, were there other like violent movies like centered around high school kids, and
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like maybe that was it. Just high school kids
it
being killed was enough where they're
was
like,
enough.
we don't need
Yeah.
to. Yeah, it's too soon for us to show any high school kids dying. I don't know.
I mean, it came out in 2000, so they were filming in like 99, which is when it happened.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you know, I guess any little thing could have been enough to trigger something. So, but that would have been a really cool movie.
Yeah. So having Stu back, you know, opens it up for different possibilities. I have a couple of ideas as to what they might be doing with his character and just with the overall story of Scream 7. That I want, and then I have a couple that I hope is not the case.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can make this really, really cool, or you can make it to where it's like, okay, I wish you didn't even bring him back. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I know.
Because when he comes back, like the image that I had in my head was, we weren't going to know that he was coming back. We were only going to talk about it. We were only going to, you know, hope for it. And then when you see the movie, then you see him.
Yeah.
You know, it's a secret.
That's what I was hoping for too.
Yeah. I think that's what everybody wants or wanted, if you wanted Stu back at all.
Or even, and this would have really pissed a lot of people off, but even like revealing him in a trailer, like at the end of a trailer or something, like, you know, it's, I don't know. That definitely would tell people not to watch that trailer for the movie, but it's, you know, it would be something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. What it means to announce it early on. They haven't even started filming yet. This movie.
I thought that they did. I thought that they have started.
I think that they're supposed to start soon. I don't know if they've started yet or not. As of recording this episode,
I know that they were supposed to a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know if it got pushed or what, but I know that there was an original date to start filming, and it was like a couple of weeks ago. So, but these schedules change.
It looks like January 7th. So almost a full month ago, which you can get a lot done, especially in a horror movie, in about a month.
Yeah.
So, it's supposed to last 9 weeks. So they're about halfway done shooting this movie.
Okay.
All right.
So, you know,
for another year. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know why. It's February next year? Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's February of next year, which is a weird month too.
Yeah, I don't understand
releasing this, but I mean, they released Scream 5 in January, right? So these movies just get released whenever.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're already almost done filming, definitely release it this year.
Yeah, you could.
You know, movies haven't even started filming that are releasing this year. So,
maybe
anyways, yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, true. So, you know, I think revealing him in the trailer, that would piss people off, because that's like, oh wow, why'd you ruin that for me, right?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it might get people excited to see it. But also, I think if you've kept it a secret up to that point, don't put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the trailer. And if you're not going to try to keep it a secret, then just announce that he's in it, build the buzz now, and get people talking, and get people to make videos like we're doing.
Yeah.
I
think they'll have a if they're like halfway through filming this thing, they could have like made a like a little trailer for the Super Bowl for this movie.
Yeah,
by the time the Super Bowl comes
teaser.
out. Little teaser for it for next year. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe we will see that. I mean, yeah, it'll be for
next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll probably be, you know, around the time that the Super Bowl is next year that this movie's coming out. So
true. All right, so let's get our thinking caps on.
Yes.
And talk about what this could mean. So I'll start with one scenario, which is, I think, probably any variation of this, I think, is kind of lame. Where it's just, you know, Sydney having dreams, and it's like he's popping up, or, you know, Roman's popping up, and you know, it's nothing real descriptive or anything. They're just in her dreams, and she's being haunted in her nightmares or something, or she's having hallucinations and seeing either of them, you know. Which that would mean that the scenes are short that they're in, because you don't usually have these longer hallucinations unless you're Smile 2.
Yeah. don't do that. Don't go that
route. Yeah. But that would mean, you know, okay, here's Stu that you've always been wanting, but he's not actually alive, and he's just in the film for 5 minutes total, you know.
Yeah.
In little hallucinations or dream sequences.
Yeah.
I think that would suck. And then same with Roman.
I feel like with Roman, it could be that way. So I don't think it's going to be that way with Matthew Lillard, just because ever since the news broke that he was going to be in it, he himself has been kind of like, you know, posting about it on his Instagram and everything. Like, he wrote in pencil, "Mom and Dad are gonna be so mad at me," and then like send it to Instagram. Mom and Dad are gonna be so mad at me. Yeah. The fact that he himself is like going to lengths to like do that kind of thing tells me that his part is more than just like a dream sequence or something. He's actually going to be in the movie. And at this point, they know, the Scream fans. Yeah. They know that we're not going to accept that. He's just going to be a little cameo appearance. Like, there's, like, they even made a joke about it in Scream 6. Yeah. About how
if you believe he's dead.
You believe he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they know how the fans are at this point.
Yeah.
And
and I was just thinking, like, if you're just like, oh, I know about Scream, like, you know, but you're not like really invested in the storylines and the different ghost faces and stuff. Seeing Matthew Lillard in the movie, it's like, cool, I like Matthew Lillard, but it doesn't really carry that much weight unless you know from 1996, you know, that original movie, and you've held on to this for so long, you know, then that means something. Yeah. Right. So to have him in the movie and just to not play
a bigger role than just a flashback.
Yeah, wouldn't
like
make sense.
He's been in the movies. Like, he was again, Scream 5, he was like on a YouTube video or something like that, where he was like the ghost face killer with like the flamethrower. So like, he's been in these movies already. So
we just didn't know that was him.
We just didn't know
he acted that ghost face role.
Yeah. So I feel like that's as big of a part as just being a flashback character. Like, that's just like a kind of a throwaway part for the most part.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
and
don't
that
know.
was
They're
just
making
like fan service because it doesn't like have his name in the credits or anything. It's just if you looked into it, then you would know. Oh, cool! They had Matthew Lillard dress up and be on a YouTube video for Stab 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, that's just like a cool little trivia, fun fact kind of thing.
Yeah. And on that same, from what I remember, on that same like YouTube, on like the suggested like videos on the side, they had like the whole Kirby thing. And then also at the bottom, there was like is Stu dead or alive? Kind of like a conspiracy video or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's been hints throughout this, like at least the last few movies, that he might still be alive.
Right. I feel like I mean, I haven't been digging deep into Scream for too long. I feel like ever since the 5th movie was announced, that's when this Stu conspiracy started to really gain a following. I don't feel like it was really a thing until Scream 5 was not as big as it used to be, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that big of a thing.
Well, in Scream 5, when spoilers, Dewey was killed. In the they didn't show him in the trailer, but they showed the whole it's been an honor kind of like, and then like the slash down to kill him. So it's been an honor kind of makes you think that like it's someone from your past, someone that you know. So I think the speculation started with that, like, oh, that could be Stu coming back. And then Scream 6 with the whole shrine of Ghostface, like masks and stuff. And I think that was another like, oh, this could be Stu coming, like, the whole. So they've had little things here and there in the last couple of movies. Which, if you're not going to pay it off with him coming back, that's kind of lame.
It's like, why even have it?
Why? Don't.
And then in Scream 6, Ghostface talks to Gale on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't think we've ever spoken before. Or whatever. It's like, okay, how would whoever that ended up being, know?
From watching the Stab movies. The Stab movies, that's bad. All I can think of on that one.
I mean, they've never spoken to any of the people on the phone. You know what I mean? Like, because themselves, but Ghostface has never spoken to Gale, so how would they know that? Unless they were part of all the Ghostface killings. So I hope it's not that, and I think it won't be just flashbacks or dream sequences.
They're making too big of a deal out of it. Like the people behind the scenes, like the audience, like we're supposed to make a big deal about it because we're just speculating. But when Matthew Lillard himself is making a big deal about it, like that's when you gotta have to
pay it off.
Yeah.
So another idea is that we're gonna it's kind of like a flashback thing, but it's a flashback to something we haven't seen. So it would be the killing of Maureen. Is that her
Maureen
name? Maureen Prescott. Because we know that Roman and Stu were both involved. Well, Billy, but
we haven't gotten
his announcement. So we know that those three were involved, and we have two of them coming back for this movie who are supposed to be dead. So the way that they can bring them back for this movie is if we learn more about Maureen's past that led up to the murder, and then those two characters would be in the film. I like that more than the dreams or the flashbacks or whatever. I like that a little more because I feel like that can carry some weight into the story, as long as it's like really connected to whoever Ghostface ends up being at the end. That could be cool, and that could give both of them some decent screen time too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
so that's an option, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like as long as they pay off, they pay that off in a big way, like as far as who Ghostface turns out to be this time, that could be good. Like I don't feel like you're gonna have a scene like that unless it actually is Stu that comes back. Because why is that necessary? Like why, unless one of those three actually is still alive and comes back to be the Ghostface killer, why is that needed for us as the audience? Because we know she's dead. We've known that since Scream 1.
Well, I'm wondering if there's gonna be, because we don't know exactly how she died. We don't know like the circumstances around that, and maybe there's gonna be more to Maureen's story that we're gonna learn, and this will need to learn that in order for this new Ghostface, their motive to make sense. That's because we already know the information about her being killed. We know who killed her, all that. So to just show that again would be pointless. Other than just having another kill. But I think if you have that in the movie, then it has to be connected to the new Ghostface, and there has to be information that we didn't know that we learn through that.
Maybe it's Billy's dad that is the killer. Because, well, did he die? I don't think he died. Because it was like
broke up his family, right?
Yeah. But I mean, he was part of that, breaking up the family. Right. But so I get Billy and even Billy's mom being mad about that. Both killers there. But to have him, because we haven't seen him at all in this franchise.
Yeah, I don't think so. He hasn't really been mentioned except for that
moment.
One part at the end of Scream.
Yeah. I think that would be
lame. That could be. Yeah, I think that would be lame too. Because then it's just another family member. We've already gone. How many different family members can we talk about?
We're already down to the cousins. Come on.
And like the fake brothers or the half brothers or whatever. Anyways. Yeah, we already got the cousin as well. So hopefully it's not that.
Hopefully it's not like a family member. It's gonna be someone close to Sydney though. So it has like the ones that have been close to Sydney have either been boyfriends or family members. It's just or boyfriends, crazy moms. Still connected to Sydney though.
Yeah, exactly. So or there's two more options. I'll save my favorite for last. Stu is actually alive. And we're actually going to get the Scream 3 plot. Maybe he faked his death and is now back. Okay. That's not my favorite. Surprisingly.
I think I might. Because there's another one that's pretty high up there that we'll talk about that one because I don't know how it would fit going forward with the franchise, but it would just be a fun thing.
Yeah.
But so
he's actually alive. He faked his death, and all these other ghost faces have been he's been working with them. Which would fit in Scream 5 and 6 because Melissa Barrera, Sam, is connected to Billy. So, Stu and Billy were, buddies. So him having a hand in everything makes sense. And him doing some of the kills makes a lot of sense because a couple of those were not believable when it comes to who would have been the one to do it based on where everybody was at the time. Doesn't make sense. Like Gail's like bodyguard or like boyfriend or whatever in the background, like this
taken down by
dude.
the little by
by
the girl in Scream 6. Like, okay, come on,
And then in 5, the Dewey kill. that Ghostface was way too big and tall to be that other girl.
Yeah.
Can't think of her name. I can't remember. I thought she was a good Ghostface though.
Oh, she was. She was crazy.
When she turned, I thought she was good.
And she, I mean, she's an Oscar-nominated actress now, so
she is now. Yeah. When I saw that the trailers for that movie, I was like, "Hey, that's what's her name from Scream?
From Scream 5."
Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool, good for you. So that I mean, I would love for that to be the story.
Yeah.
He is actually alive. It would suck to already, like, that's the one that the surprise would have been the best.
Yeah.
You know, if it was going to be a surprise, that's the version that would have made sense the most. And so it would kind of suck to have that ruined. I imagine if that was the case, then there would be other characters that would be revealed that we would learn about in the movie, you know, and they're supposed to be the best friend or whatever, and then they're actually a Ghostface. Like, there could still be surprise reveals in the movie, even with knowing that Stu is alive and most likely a part of it. So there can still be reveals and some fun to be had, but to already know that Stu has been doing all of this or whatever, that would kind of suck going in. So while I love that,
though, I would still love it, especially because that feels like you're wrapping up the whole Scream franchise as a whole. Like, it's never going to end. There's always, you know, you can always play off the Scream. You've got stab movies galore, so you can always just have, you know, you just different people in them. You don't have to do the whole Sydney thing anymore. You can wrap her story up and just be done with it. And I don't, if that is the way that they're doing it, I would need one more movie out of that though, because you're still only getting Stu at the very end of that movie. Like, that's a whole surprise. That's a whole, like, it's been me all along kind of thing. So I would need him to live. And then maybe have like an 8th movie where we wrap everything up completely. Maybe get his backstory. Like where he's been the last 30 years. But yeah, and maybe name it Ghostface. Like, you don't even have to do Scream anymore, just Ghostface.
Right.
That would be like my dream scenario. It's probably not going to happen.
2 movies,
but 2 movies, with Stu, or like 1 and a quarter with Stu.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking maybe they could reveal Stu, you know, because everybody already knew he was going to be in it. Maybe they can reveal him like halfway through the movie, but you don't know who's working with him in this movie.
Yeah.
So they could reveal that he's behind the scenes, so then he gets more screen time, you know?
Yeah.
Up to the end of the movie. But yeah, either way, just knowing that ahead of time would kind of be a buzzkill, you know? To
maybe have him behind her at one point, and he says, I always had a thing for you, Sid, and have that be what we hear for the first time. Flashback from Scream 1 there, and then she turns around and it's Stu all scarred, because of course you're going to be, unless you get, I mean, his parents are rich, so they could have done plastic surgery. So, but if not, then he's got to be pretty scarred up from that 90s TV falling on his face. But yeah, so that is, for me, that would have to be my number one reason for having him back. But there is another one that would be fun, a lot of fun. Which I think is what we're thinking about. We haven't discussed any of this.
I'll talk about it. Yeah, we haven't even talked, so I'll bring it up. And then if it's what you're thinking, then we can talk about it and just, or if there's something else that I'm not thinking about, then we'll continue with another possibility.
I gotta hope it's not what I'm talking about, because I want more.
So
more
it's been out
here.
there. Yeah, it's been out there. It's been speculated ever since we learned about these two actors being in the film. But if you've seen New Nightmare, which is kind of a one-off Nightmare on Elm Street film. It's not called Nightmare on Elm Street because it's not Freddy Krueger.
Wes Craven's A New Nightmare.
Yeah, it's Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And so it plays off of the Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, and we have a review of it if you want to go watch it. Where there's going to be, this takes place in like reality. There's going to be a new Nightmare on Elm Street film, and they're trying to get the original cast back. And so all the actors play themselves. And Freddy comes into the real world as like this demon thing. Yeah. It's not actually Freddy Krueger. So like Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger, is in the movie as Robert Englund. And Freddy is, he's in there too, but he's not Freddy. He just looks like Freddy. Such a fun movie. One of my favorites. I think it might be my second or third favorite of that franchise. I think it's so clever, and it's basically Scream before Scream.
Yeah.
It was also the seventh
95
film.
Yeah,
94, 95. But the like meta writing and stuff was very, ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And then Wes Craven did Scream, and he didn't write it. Kevin Williamson did, but he was like, it was perfect for him to direct.
Yeah.
And so in this version of that for Scream, I feel like it would be even easier to do because you're not having to have a Freddy Krueger character who is just in your dreams.
Yeah.
And, that gets complicated when you're trying to make it reality. But with Ghostface, you can do that easily. So all the actors would play themselves. So we would have Matthew Lillard in the movie, but he wouldn't be Stu. He would be Matthew Lillard. Yeah. We could have Scott Foley not playing Roman, just playing himself. Sydney, we would, she would just be playing herself. And so,
but we're already going into Scream 3 though. Like at least with New Nightmare, that was focused on Nightmare on Elm Street 1. But we're already going into Scream 3. So are we gonna have everybody from the whole
Well, it doesn't have to be everybody. Whoever Ghostface wants to kill, I guess, in this version is not kill or whatever is going to be in the film. So that's why you would still have, because we're going through all of them. You still have the twins. They're gonna have to play themselves too.
Yeah.
So it could be a crazed fan. It could be, it could be one of the actual, it could be Gail, maybe, maybe it's Courtney Cox, maybe, I feel like that could open the door for a lot of different things.
Maybe it's
and be really fun. I think if they could write that well, that is perfect for Scream.
Yeah.
That would, I think, be the most fun, in my opinion. The biggest issue is the casting has been announced and the characters have been announced to be playing like Sydney's daughter, or they've been announced as their characters and who they're gonna play. I don't know if they've been official announcements. I've just seen, this has been announced. I haven't looked into it too much.
That is true.
I just know that there are certain actors and actresses that have been announced as being in the film and what character they're playing. So, and they're not playing themselves.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty big wrench into that idea. But
we're so early on, though. Like, maybe that could just be throwing us off. Like,
yeah,
the thing that I'm worried about is the fact that they've started filming almost a full month ago.
Yeah,
and we've only gotten Scott Foley and Matthew Lillard so far. Like, we should have already had like the Drew Barrymore, and we should have like had all these people.
That would be crazy.
Henry Winkler, like have him come back. He's way old now, but you know he could still do it. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Like you would think that we would have more casting because we were already halfway through filming it, so they should have already signed on if this is what we're doing.
Yeah, but those actors played such a small role.
Yeah.
So this would be just the main people who were actually, had characters. Drew Barrymore, she was, that's like the most well-known horror scene, like maybe ever. So it would be awesome to have her back. But technically, her
lives
character,
this time.
Yeah. But technically, she wasn't that big of a character.
No,
as far as the story goes. So, I think she was mentioned like as, oh yeah, she didn't go to school today, or I think she was mentioned as like someone that they knew. Yeah, but not big to.
Oh yeah, I think Sydney was like, I sat next to them in like whatever class, and her friends like, not anymore. Like, okay, that's disrespectful, but
yeah. I just love that idea.
It would be a lot of fun.
I just think Scream. It's perfect for Scream.
Not only is it the seventh movie in the franchise, it's also it comes out in 2026, which is the 30th anniversary of Scream 1. So Scream 1 came out in 96. So like, there's a lot of things, pointing that maybe that's why they chose 2026. They chose early 2026 so that they could, get this out as quickly as possible in that year. Because they're going to be sitting on it for like at least 4 months. Like it's not going to take them too long to actually make this whole thing. My issue is, where do you go from this? Like, how do you just continue on the Scream franchise once you've got this meta with your movie? It's like the ultimate meta.
Yeah, that's why I want it. But yeah, it was the ultimate meta film. But yeah, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, we got Freddy versus Jason, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a versus. That doesn't necessarily count.
Well, that's my point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it kind of
ends the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, I think that franchise was already done after Freddy's dead. So
yeah.
I don't know that there was much to do anymore with Freddy. So this was a way to kind of do Freddy, but not at the same time. So I think it worked out very well for Nightmare on Elm Street. Scream still has steam left. We can still do more with Scream. So having it be this meta would kind of halt the franchise, at least for a while. We wouldn't see
another 10 years.
Quite a while. Yeah.
You seem to only be able to get like 2 or 3 movies out every decade.
Yeah. The thing is, too, is they're announcing these past ghost faces, and a lot of people are speculating like, oh, they're just trying to, they're not actually going to be in the movie that much. They're just trying to get people back on their side because all these people are boycotting. They're
true Scream fans are not boycotting this movie. Like, those are the people. I'm boycotting Scream 7 because of the whole Melissa Barrera thing. You were never a fan of the franchise if you're boycotting it. So we don't need you to attend this one. We don't care.
They're probably like, who's Matthew Lillard? I don't know who that is. They only know Scream 5 and 6.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever. And it's just, yeah. So I've heard that, this is, I've heard people saying that this is just a way for them to try to get people excited again after they've given up on the franchise. And that these characters won't actually be in the movie much. So, I don't think that's the case. I think even though there's people that would not go to the film, it would still make a good amount of money. So I don't think they need this to get people to go.
But that's the thing, though, too. Like if you're doing a new Nightmare scenario, these actors are not cheap anymore. Like the actors that have been around from Scream 1 are like legit actors now.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna get David Arquette and Drew Barrymore, like you said.
Yeah, like they're gonna cost a little bit of money to get these people back. So I mean, I feel like they did make quite a bit on Screams 5 and 6. I think Scream 6 was the highest grossing Scream movie of all time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I mean, I'm glad that, it made a lot of money, but it was just not a very good movie.
I want to watch New Nightmare now.
Huh?
I want to watch New Nightmare now.
Yeah. But it's like they need as many people to go if they're going to be there. If that is a scenario, they're going to be spending quite a bit.
Yeah.
To get these people to come. So.
Yeah, that would be tough. And then maybe even Kevin Williamson is in the movie.
Yeah.
That would be cool. He is directing it.
He is directing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he's in it?
I was thinking, because like the voice of Ghostface has never gotten the credit he deserves. Like it's never announced that he's joining the cast of Scream.
Right.
We just all assume that he is.
So important.
You don't have Scream without him in it. So I think that would be kind of funny if it turned out he was the killer in this, because he doesn't get the attention he deserves. Like,
maybe they're trying. They're trying to make the next Scream movie. They're trying to make Scream 7. So they all get back together, and then that's when Ghostface starts picking them off.
Starts killing them. It feels too much like
Roger.
Scream 3, but
it does
be a better one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they have been mirroring, like paralleling each other. Like Scream 5 was a parallel to Scream 1, Scream 6 is Scream 2. So Scream 7 could be paralleling Scream 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully doing a better job than Scream 3
and
did.
then parallel New Nightmare too, which was Nightmare 7.
Yeah.
So I think things align pretty well for that, other than that they've said what their characters are.
Yeah.
For some of these people. But those characters don't need to be like Sydney's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They could be oh my gosh, why can't I think of her name?
Nev
Campbell's daughter.
Yeah.
They could be playing that because Heather Langenkamp was in it in New Nightmare, and she had a son that wasn't actually her son. Yeah. She had a husband who wasn't actually her husband. Yeah. So those characters they can be characters. They don't need to be real, based on real life. Just the main actors need to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw a theory that if it were like that, then it could be like based on the convention circuit. So like these actors go to conventions, for horror fans. Mm-hmm. And so it could be like a fan following them to the different conventions. And, it could be kind of how it starts. Because you got to get all these people in the same place, right? Or at least in the same town. And I don't know that they all live in LA or something.
Get them all together in one convention. Yeah. That's the ultimate convention right there, an ultimate Scream convention. Let's get everybody from all 6 Scream movies.
They have done like Nev and Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard. Like they've done at least those 3 in the same convention.
They have,
it could be like realistic. Because I don't think it would be everybody, it would just be some. But I don't think it would feel right to do all that without David Arquette, though. because he would be
Yeah,
he would be part of the big three, and so you got to
need
have
him
him
to come back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jamie
And
Kennedy would be cool.
Oh yeah, get Randy back here. Both of them would gladly join a New Nightmare.
And if they were cast, then it's like, okay, yeah, that's what you're doing. We know what you're doing now, you know, because that's another two characters that are
sequence that she just has multiple dream sequences of first the killers and then of ones in her life that died.
Yeah, and you get Sarah Michelle Gellar coming back.
It's like a random sorority girl.
Yeah. And what was his name? Connolly.
The boyfriend in Scream 2?
Yeah. I can't think of his name, but
what was his name? I don't remember what his name in the movie was, but
James Connolly? No.
His name's Jerry.
Jerry Connolly?
Jerry O'Connell.
O'Connell?
I think it's O'Connell.
Okay.
He's been acting since he was a kid. He's in Stand By Me, so he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, get him back.
Yeah, and get the sidekick from Scream 2. I can't remember his name, but he's a pretty well-known actor these days.
The
Ghostface, the main Ghostface was the mom.
Billy's Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah. Get him.
He's pretty well known in the horror community too.
Yeah,
he was in some horror movies.
Who was oh my gosh, I can't think of. Is Scott Speedman? Is that who it was? Who played Cotton?
Oh, Cotton.
Who played Cotton?
Liev Schreiber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Speedman is an actor, but not the right one.
Yeah, just so many actors that you could bring.
He would be down to do it too. That's so many. So it's the money thing might be an issue, but at the same time, if you were if you liked the franchise when you were in it, a new Nightmare movie, I would just do it. I don't even care what you pay me. I've got gigs, I've got other jobs to do too. So I think it'd just be a fun thing to do, to be a part of.
Yeah. And I mean, how many movies are like that?
Yeah.
Especially for horror. One. Yeah. I mean, there's other movies where actors play themselves. But nothing like this.
Yeah.
Especially for horror where they're actually getting killed off and stuff that there's no movies like that.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty groundbreaking, pretty cool. I think it's, I'm kind of 50-50 on the actual possibility of it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe those other scenarios are a little more likely.
And how do you think people would take that though? They went in thinking they're going to get a Scream movie, and this is not a Scream movie. This is
right.
So it's I don't know. New Nightmare was huge years later, but I don't know how it did when it came out, because it's because it wasn't anything like the other. It's like Halloween 3. You're not getting Michael Myers. You're not. You're getting something completely different. You're not getting. This is slightly different in the sense that you are getting all your characters back, all your actors, but it's it doesn't continue in a story. It doesn't continue the Scream legacy, I guess. The Scream stories.
What if
they've been doing?
What if they could? Because the killer could be feeling like they're in a Scream movie. So they could play off the Scream storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So the actors play themselves, but the killer sees them as Sidney Prescott and Gail Weathers, and so that the storyline can still be intertwined and we can still get a Scream feel, but at the same time, a New Nightmare feel. I feel like there's a way to do that. That would be hard. to do. I feel like there would be too much going on to do like a coherent plot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people would see that. I feel like you'd have to warn them. I feel like this would have to.
You'd have to know
obviously be in the trailer. There'd
Yeah.
have to be something out there that would cue people into this is not like the other.
This is not Scream
movies.
7.
Yeah,
this is something different.
This is Ghostface. You call it that or something.
Yeah,
you call it something else. But everybody's been calling it Scream 7. So
yeah.
I don't know.
New Nightmare.
Yeah. Yes. New Scream movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do Nightmare because that's
Kevin Williams's
Ghostface.
Something like that. I think it's really cool that Kevin Williamson is directing this.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Keeping it in the franchise,
We need to review his other movie because he has directed one other movie before. And it's a horror, quote unquote horror movie. Another one of his 90s things that he's done. So we need to review that one before this one comes out. To see what his style is for. Yeah. Although it'll
be different now.
Yeah. But it's really cool that he's directing this one because
I was really excited when I heard that.
Yeah. Because he was never he was never one of my main directors that I would or people that I'd want to direct just because he doesn't direct movies. But he is the closest thing to the Scream franchise.
Absolutely.
He's written all of them except for the third one.
5 and 6 he didn't write.
Oh yeah. But he was still like a producer. He was still involved with the franchise. So he is the most qualified to direct this movie. So and he knows how to make a good Scream movie. So I do have faith in his ability to make this movie.
I think it's going to be awesome. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, especially because we have a whole year. I don't want to be.
I know.
I mean, I want to be thinking about it, but I don't want to at the same time because Scream 6 was such a bummer. But it wasn't a bummer because of the story. It was a bummer because of just the way
the reveal.
The reveal and the fact that nobody died. And there should have been multiple people that died.
Well, the girlfriend died. Mindy's girlfriend.
Yeah, who cares?
She had a pretty gruesome death too. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But that's a thing.
But nobody that mattered.
No, Sorry, Mindy's girlfriend, you don't matter. But it could have been really cool because the scenes with Ghostface were just mean and they were
they were
in your
good.
face. He was the most intense Ghostface that we've had in the entire franchise. That this should have been one of the best movies of the franchise.
Yeah. And then they take the mask off and then they're nothing like
they were when they had
That's what happens when you have stunt people playing Ghostface.
Yeah, I know.
And then the actual actors have to do the stunt jobs.
Okay, you have to act slightly crazier than you were before, but not too much. Yeah. Emma Roberts went way beyond her what she should have done. She was insane when she was revealed.
And also, if she comes back, if we hear that she's been announced, then it's like, okay, what are we just doing a Ghostface reunion or
we're having all the Ghostfaces together. And that if she is revealed, then it's most likely a dream sequence. If people that died in the franchise that weren't Ghostface come back, then I can see a new Nightmare scenario. But if we're only getting Ghostfaces, then it's most likely a dream sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, so. I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And, when a trailer comes out, I think we'll be able to make a little more solid predictions. So you're going to want to keep it locked here on Scare Talk because we're bringing you all the insights. We're putting our brains together, and we're hoping you can help us come up with different ideas too. And speaking of Kevin Williamson, a little off topic, but The Faculty is supposedly getting a remake.
Yep.
Which he wrote back in the 90s. Great movie. And that's pretty exciting. I hope that actually follows through. It actually happens. And we get a cool new version of The Faculty.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Because
it's due. It's been due for a little while. They could definitely do something with that franchise or with that. Well, it's not really a franchise. It had one movie, but with that, turn it into a franchise. I don't know. I heard that. Do you remember when I Know What You Did Last Summer is supposed to be coming out? It's like June.
This summer, yeah.
This summer,
June, yeah.
What if we get our first trailer of Scream with I Know What You Did Last Summer?
It's very possible.
Would make sense.
At least a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should get our first trailer.
Yeah. I mean, it's still 6-7 months away at that point. So,
yeah.
I feel like that's a little early, but who knows? There's been trailers like Sinners. That movie still doesn't come out until March, and we've been getting trailers since like November or something. It's been a while.
I know.
Same with there was a couple of them that had trailers for a long time. This is a
huge one, so it's gonna they're gonna try to get as many people on board with this as they possibly can. I just hope they don't show too much in these trailers, but they will.
Absolutely,
because it's what trailers do.
So let us know your thoughts on Scream 7, all the possibilities. Did we miss anything? Maybe there's something you thought of that's even better than what we've thought of. We'd love to hear that idea. Or if you just have other ideas. And that's it. Till next time with the Scream news. We'll talk to you later. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Stu bite.